Welcome old family and new family to Cypher Scholars, part education, part hip-hop, all culture. You know, we have enhanced the Cypher today with the everyday working man and the MC Eater himself. Well, first of all, before we introduce our guests, we got to introduce the Cypher hosts. We got Brandon White, a.k.a. Bushido Garvey, as I'm known in many MC circles.
Boy, Rob Blow on the tech.
Yes. Now let's get busy with the guests of the Cypher. We got Alvarez, Masterminded, and Barbaric.
Hey.
What's going on, homies? How y'all doing?
I'm doing good. How you?
Doing all right, man. You know, sorry about the door outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was trying to do back-to-back episodes, and resources are limited here at Cypher Scholars. Indeed. So again, for those who don't know, Cypher Scholars is part education, part hip-hop, all culture. That's always part global, part local, and always universal. And you know, we always have to, and I learned something from Cello, which is really valuing the MC and the crop of which you come from and which you're around. Right, so you know what I'm saying. As MCs from the area and the region that put it down, you're always welcome here on Cypher Scholars.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
You know, so you know this is Cypher Scholars. So I got to ask y'all. Before we got on air, we were talking about the schools that y'all went to a little bit, right? Now you went to East.
Yeah, I went to East High School.
Where'd you go?
Edison.
All right. What kind of, not to take from Montreality, because they always ask this question, but what kind of students were y'all?
I was a decent student. I was CB average. You know, I ain't apply as myself as much because I was lazy and always working. So school wasn't that. But when it came down to test time, if I really applied it, I was good.
You had a lyric about night school. Like you were talking about doing a night school. I think it was an everyday working man. I forget.
Yeah, it was.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So 9/11 hit. I was a senior, and I got kicked out of my English class that day because I was questioning it. I had family that lived in New York, and my teacher at the time, she's been a little crazy about it, so I got a little verbal. She didn't want me back in the class, but in order for me to graduate, I needed that class. So I ended up having to go to night school.
Okay.
To graduate.
Yeah.
But I still was at East during the day. I went to work after school, and then I went to night school right after work. So, and that was all in my senior year.
What did you question about 9/11?
Well, I was just questioning because I didn't know what was going on.
Okay.
You know, I just seen, I was more like, what's going on TV? Why are you crying?
Yeah.
What was happening in New York? I think the way that I said it came off a little wrong, so she wasn't really feeling it. And then we started having a back and forth argument, which led to get out my class.
Right.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
That's kind of wild.
That's a little, yeah.
But then when I found out what happened and everything,
right.
You know, my mom's and my aunt was upset about, you know, me being kicked out.
Right.
But, you know, when they explained, like, Alex, you got family that live there, you're not being who you're supposed to be. You know, you're not being empathetic, so this is what you get. You know what I mean? But I ain't know. I was just.
Do you think that it sounded like your family had more of a conversation about it that allowed you to understand like the insensitivity or the whatever about it?
Yeah.
But do you think that, how does that differ from like how the school handled it? It seemed like they were kind of like, oh, I know it escalated, right? But at the same time, did you need to be going to night school because of an escalated situation?
Yeah, I didn't think I had to go to night school because even, you know, the teacher wanted a verbal apology and wanted to speak to my parents at the time. So my mom and my aunt went, we talked, we had a meeting. She still said she didn't want to have me. She still didn't want me back, even though I was getting decent grades in. I was getting decent grades in her class. It was, you know, it was still young in the school year at that time. You know, it was September.
Right, that was September 11th. That was like 1 week into school.
In my state of mind, in my state of mind, I was already thinking like, well, I ain't need to even have this. My mom was like, nah, you ought to graduate, so you gotta go to night school. That's what you gotta do.
That's kind of wild.
And our reiteration of Cypher Scholars, we've talked about like how basically small moments turn into big moments, and depending on who you are, what your color is, or what the situation is. Like these big moments, these little mini moments in education can have a permanent effect on your trajectory or direction as a young person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you didn't have a parent advocating for conversation, right? And if you didn't decide, like, you know what, like, all right, fine, I'll go to this night school, a lot of other people could have been lost in that because of a conversation.
Yeah,
because
I think back and maybe I could have just shut my mouth and just sat in class and then figured out what's happening.
That's true too.
But I was just like, yo, it's whatever. Yeah. You know, what's going on. I think at the time she must have been having a frustrated day herself.
Yeah.
You know, I just happened to come into class doing my own thing, minding my business, but you know, now I'm really testing her. And when she's like being sarcastic, now it's triggering me.
Yeah.
So now we're going back and forth.
All the time.
But then again,
you had to deal with the consequences because she had triggers.
Yeah,
you had your own triggers, but you had to deal with the consequences of it.
So, you know, and I applied what her and you know, our so-called guidance counselor wanted. Yeah. We had the meeting. You know what I'm saying? I apologized, like, yo, you know, I'll come to class and just not say nothing. Like I do in every other class. Yeah. But she wasn't with it and all that. So she took it at, I looked at it like she probably think I'm just going to just drop out. Now I'm about to still go to work right after school and then still go to night school. And I did that for the whole year.
Was you like in 9th grade or something like that?
No, I was a senior.
Oh,
I was a senior.
Okay,
so
wow.
she knew I needed that class. Okay. I was taking 2 different English classes, 11th and 12th.
Wow.
So because I ain't applied myself a lot because I was just, you know, just whatever. Yeah. But she knew I needed that class because she was my main class.
Yeah. And that's the power that teachers have and the privilege they got. Well, my fault, Big. Yeah. Indeed. Word up, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, after you wanted the apology for him to come back in the class and then he apologized, he met the requirements of what you wanted him to do. Now you're still gonna try to block him from not coming back in?
Yeah. Like your whole life.
It was just a misunderstanding.
Indeed. Like your whole life as a student was just totally altered within like a 5-10 minute situation. One which you apologize for, and the abuse of power and her comfort with, you know, what she's able to do. I keep on unplugging this, my bad. Wouldn't allow for the healing to begin and for you to just be a kid and just learn from your situations. I don't know, that bothered me. But yeah, Barbaric. You went to Edison, you know what I'm saying? What was that like?
It was fun. You know, I was a average student. You know, I wasn't no troublemaker and stuff like that. I had my friends and stuff. So, you know, I wasn't no nerdish type of person or nothing like that. It just I was known, but I wasn't like famous people. Indeed. I stayed out of the limelight. Right? Yeah, I was pretty much in between. So I knew it, but everybody knew me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it was cool, you know, clowned around, got my work done. Yeah. If I didn't get my work done, then, you know, it would have been an issue when I got home. So, right. I made sure I had to be on punishment.
When, that's real. When did hip hop come into the fold for y'all? Was it during your time at Edison East, or was it like before that?
It was before that for me. It was young. I was like, 4 growing up. I got an older brother and sister, so I always been around it. Yeah. You know, so, Rakim, I'm like, 80s music. You know what I'm saying? 80s rap, you know what I'm saying? I've been around it my whole life, so Rakim, BDP, Public Enemy, NWA. I grew up on all that. Due, to my sister and my brother. So I always been around it, whether I wanted to or not. Yeah. And then, as I got older, I just got heavy into it.
Yeah. Word up.
For myself, I started writing rhymes about 7-8 years old. Like I was getting Source magazines. I was, asking my mom for money, and I'll buy my own Source magazine, and I'll start like taking the little hip hop quotables or whatever, taking that paragraph, writing, and started writing onto it.
You can say that again?
Like, so I would take like the hip hop quotable of the month, and then after that quotable, there used to be pages of like these new singles, and they used to write a verse from the artist. So I would take that verse, write it, and then I started writing my own verse, added onto it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I started practicing at a young age. My uncle and his people, they was DJs and graph artists here in Rochester. So I used to watch them DJ, watch them MC. So I was triggered by that. So I used to take their Source magazines and then started collecting them and then started developing my own stuff.
Was there a connection between your reading and writing as an MC? Was it connected to anything y'all did with school? Because that's just funny to me.
For me, no. Yeah. I honestly, I would say no. If I was to sit here and think about it, I would say no, because a lot of my writing came from my home life, my own experience outside of my home.
Yeah.
A lot of it ain't really have nothing to do with school, in my own opinion.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, mine ain't had nothing to do with school either. It just, it was basically one of my friends back in the day was like, yo, you listen to someone's Wu-Tang, you should rap. I was like,
Nah.
all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't take much thought into it until I turned 14. Especially when I got into high school.
Right.
Then I started, penning my own stuff and, trying to make sense of it. Didn't even know how to write my bars right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying things that sounded good to me at the time.
Word.
It wasn't until I was like, 20, that's when I really started really taking it serious, because my cousin, Boss City, showed me how to write my bars. He showed me how to format my bars, and after that, I just increased and went elevated after that.
Yeah.
Myself, looking into it, I was writing a long time early. So I come from a family where, us Puerto Ricans and everything, a lot of us was always told, like, go to school. As long as you graduate high school, you did whatever you want. So the mentality structure was just to go to school. So focusing in school wasn't a real priority. I just went to school because I had to be there, you know what I mean? And like, I put myself through college. Nobody in my family ever went to college. Like, I paid for it myself all those years. So going to school, I think it gave me the only aspect of, that I had to get some type of education. What I really took from it was a lot of the education that I got from school, I'm never going to really apply that in my day-to-day life.
No.
So to say like my music or anything was influenced by school, I can definitely say no.
Yeah. Ain't that's just so crazy, because again, well, go ahead, Rob.
No. I was gonna ask him about like something else today, right? But
Like, whenever I hear that, because like that's the story of so many MCs that we've had up here, was just like, how is it that you practice all these literacy skills, reading and writing, that you're passionate about, but school ain't tapped into that? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all practicing how to critically think and be writers and readers. You got the source, you're reading the source, you're creating your own activities and lessons, basically, right? But, school ain't tapped into that not once. Like, that just says a lot about it as an institution, in my opinion. Same with you, like, you actively writing and thinking and conceptualizing, but not once is what you're writing about or how you're writing being tapped into your experience in your walk in high school. So
before we get into y'all songs and all that, you know what I mean? I listened to some of y'all songs, and I had a question about, like, that characters on the track. I mean, like, somebody said a bar. I think it was you, Barbaric. I don't know, but somebody said a bar where they's like, I'm gonna kill him with this 90's style, something like that. Somebody said a bar like, I want to kill him with the 90's style or something like that. So my question is, why do you rock with the 90's style so much? If it's both, like, it seems like both of you guys definitely listen to Wu-Tang all day. Y'all got the 90's swag on y'all listen to all that. Why do y'all rock heavily so much on the 90's style? How come some of your music doesn't like reflect some of the other styles as well? You know what I mean?
Well, mainly for me, you know what I'm saying, it reflects on what I want to listen to.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It reflects on what I want to listen to and what I grew up listening to.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's not about bringing the 90's back, because the 90's is over.
Yeah.
It's always about going forward.
Okay.
But we don't gotta sound like everybody else, when we doing our music and stuff like that. People tend to think that underground is dead, and they try to label folks like us underground, where back in the day, underground and mainstream was neck and neck. So it's like,
Kind of facts, though.
I want to make music I'm comfortable with, and make music I want to listen to.
Yeah.
I'm not about to shuck and jive.
Yeah. That's real.
For myself,
That's real.
like,
That's real.
I look at it like this, like, we 80's babies that grew up in the 90's, you know what I'm saying? So looking at our influences that came upon it and everything, like, I was always told, if you're gonna write rhymes and you're gonna do this, you gotta have something to say.
Yeah.
You gotta come up with your own style and never bite. So to this day, I still treat my poetry in the same way, in the same structure format. music wise, I listen to everything. Like he can tell you, I listen to current stuff now. I listen.
That's crazy.
I listen. I like trap. I like obviously I listen to Spanish music, Spanish trap, R&B, and all that. Like I listen to so much music. I'm influenced all the time. But I know what I do. I know who I cater to. I know what I love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the few people that still buy and post music all day that I'm influenced and I love. But at the same time, I've always been like, yo, because they don't like this doesn't mean I don't have to like that. I have my own mind in my ears, and I enjoy a lot of music. You know what I mean? So but my art, my style, what I like, this is what I do. But I know who I'm catering to because I'm looking for the respect of the true lyricism, the true seeds. Like, yo, that's dope. I mean, today's current music doesn't have that format, but it's not me. I mean, but I enjoy it though.
That's what I got you.
Both of y'all like too. Like I feel like because you talk about making music that you like, that resonates with you the most, even if you tap into other music and like other music, and y'all doing that, y'all also like approach it in a way where it's just like, yeah, this is the kind of music that I like and I make it, but I'm gonna do it like me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all also aren't like, you know what, like I'm influenced by 90s music, so I'm gonna pretend like I ain't got kids like I didn't in the 90s, or I'm gonna act like I'm always out in the club like I was in the 90s, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all regularly talk about being grown men with jobs and being adults, or if you're not talking about it, you're posting about it, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all talk about that decision to include all those pieces
because that's what makes us. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're grown. You know, it's like, you know, our club era was back 10 years ago maybe. Little John and them, when Little John and them was popping. Right. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Envy and stuff like that. That was our era of going out. You know what I'm saying?
Liquid.
Liquid. Venue and all that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you know, we talk about, you know, and post about stuff that we go through every day. And right now, it's like, it's mainly, we're family men. You know what I'm saying? We go to work, we get up, go to work, come home, take care of our family. That's basically what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? We, you know, may touch on it every now and then in our rhymes and stuff like that. Or you may see us on social media. We may touch on it then too also. But at the end of the day, we're still fathers and